This is a new trading series called Nothing to Orange Poker Time Fedora. So the reason wI had to stop the last series short is because sadly I was not able to make videos because my laptop was horrible, and now I have a PC. So now I can make videos. And over that period of time, I may or may not have gotten scammed yet again. This was not really my fault. It was a middleman scam. He botted 18,000 members into his group. He probably spent like $1,000. Give me a break here. I know the title is Nothing to Orange Poker Time Fedora, and well, what would be my dream inventory, but I'm just going to say Orange Poker Time Fedora. But I do have a little bit more than nothing, so in 2 months, I have made quite a bit of value. I am now at 284,000 value. So I started October 13th, but really I started October 15th. This is just like when I started transferring some like Robux and buying items and stuff. But this is when I started, October 15th. So yes, I did make quite a bit of value, but I cannot lie. I now have a partner in crime, Vamtar. As you can see in my about, thanks Vamtar for the massive help. So we are basically sending out and completing trades twice as fast now because it is, well, another person. So that is pretty nice. So this is my current items. Beast mode is going to raise in like a day, so this will be 95k, maybe even by the time you see the video. Playful Vampire is 1 sale from raising. By the time you see the video, it'll probably be raised. Pink Galaxy Gaze is 2 sales away from raising, so maybe about a week, because this doesn't sell very often. Only 2 daily sales, but I don't know if it's going to sell. Skull Bandit just raised. I actually had 2 of them. I traded them off, but I'll show that later. Purple Wistful Wink, legit, Heart Gaze, and some smalls. So yeah, I did have Classic Fedora, and I made like 40k profit off of it just by flipping it, getting a lot for it, and then trading it off for a little. And yeah, now I'm at 284k value. Obviously, I did not start with that. I did have to do a lot of trading to get there, but that's how I made the majority of my profit. Now, of course, I'm not going to show all my trades because that would be a lot of trades. So I'm going to start from like slightly bigger trades, so I'm only going to show some of the bigger trades I made, or just the trades I made the most profit from. So let's start. So this is probably the first big trade. At the time, this was, I think it was like a 6k OP on Beast Mode. Beast Mode was low because it just got LPP'd at the time, because this was a long time ago, this was 28 days ago. And Stickmaster Luke's was also low, I think. But I was able to make profit off of this at the time. At the time, this was actually a big W. Beast Mode rose 10k, so obviously it's not a W anymore. The reason why that was a W is because I traded these all into super happy face. At the time it was like a 3k OP, but these were really low on wrap. They weren't actually low in value yet, so now it's obviously a way bigger win for me, but at the time it was just like a 3k OP, so it was kind of fair, but I definitely would consider it a W in my opinion. Then I made this trade. I think I got like equal for Dupa, but this was a 2 items, and Cashing Snowflakes was low. This was a trade that Vamtar didn't like, but I liked it, and it ended up being good in the long run, obviously. This trade doesn't matter right now, but if I were to hold onto these items, this would be a very nice W. Now we upgraded 3 legits into GVPQ. At the time, GVPQ was valued, so it was valued at 40k, and these were all 13k, so it was a 1k low ball. And it actually did work out in my favor because I was able to make a trade pretty soon to trade this away. So we sent like a 5 or 7k OP on Arctic Commando. Now it's like 8k. It's a little bit more now because GVPQ dropped. But I gave like 7 or 8k when Arctic Commando was getting 5k, but this item always got LPPs, and that's why it is no longer valued. I even gave a 1k lowball. This was a W. Now, not really, but I mean, this was a W at the time. I would still take it now. At the time, I think I OP'd like 7k for FF, then it raised 10k, and these items stayed the same. This was a huge W at the time, and now it is still a huge W because FF is getting like 20k and our Commando is getting like 8k. Then I upgraded these 2 and just made free profit, literally free profit. I traded away like 5k here, maybe 6k with the Robux, and I basically just gained 6.5 to 7k of free profit. Literally the easiest profit I've ever made in my career. Then I did like a 1k OP on Playful Vampire. Now it's obviously a huge dub, but at the time it was just like a decent trade. I think it was 1k at the time. I don't think I would have done more than maybe 1 to 1.5k. It might have been 1.5k, but I wouldn't have done much more than that. So I think it was probably 1 to 1.5k. Then I upgraded into Ice Volk. This was a, I think, 25k OP at the time. 140, 65, this was 180 at the time. This was getting like 30k, so I was kind of pumped to get it. Obviously this is a 20k OP now. Still kind of a W, even though Play for Vampire is going to raise, but this doesn't matter anymore. It was a pretty good trade at the time, and I still considered it a W. Then I did Ice Folk and Fancy Skateboard for these two. This was actually an OP for her at the time, but Ice Folk rose 10k, but this was like a 7k OP. The reason why I did this is because this apparently was getting 1v1s for CF, or CF was low bowling for it. So that's really the only reason why I got it. And it might not have been a 1v1 for CF, but I did low bowl at the time, 10k, and now 20k for Classic Fedora. Definitely a win on my part, was a win at the time, still is a win now. Then I downgraded Classic Fedora. At the time, Classic Fedora was 200k. This is like a 25k OP. At the time, it was getting like 20k. This was a big W at the time. This was a very big W. Then I traded all of these into Wolf. This is like 14k OP, which is pretty decent actually. This was getting like 17k. Then this guy saved me. I was having trouble finding trades, and this guy sent me 20k OP. At the time it was less though. This was 15k OP. Still a win. Then he gave me, then for the big win, I also got 4k and 4k. So I got 8k plus the 15k at the time. That was a 23k OP at the time, and now it is much, much more. This was a big W for me, still is, and I'm very happy about that. And this was, I think, like a 1k OP. I really cannot remember this trade whatsoever, but I got Form. I don't even know. I probably OP'd a little. Classic, this looks like a 3k OP because Catching Snowflakes went up a little, but I think it's no more than maybe 1k. I really could not tell you though. I OP'd. At the time, it was 28k for Classic Fedora. Dominus Form LPP'd at the time. This is actually a 22k OP on CF at the time, which is really good because Jackal Bandit was only 42k, and Form got LPP'd, so it was going to drop, which it did right after actually. Now it's 18k. W at the time, W now. Then I got a 40k OP on Classic Fedora. Obviously, this is 30k now, but at the time, it was 40. It was a big W. Then I traded these back into Classic Fedora and got myself, this was 10, this was 9 at the time, 2.5. I got myself 12k profit. The easiest 12k ever. I basically just got these for Classic Fedora and then got Classic Fedora back for these and got 9k, a small, and another 2.5k. So obviously it's a huge, huge W. Then I downgraded this for what was at the time 36k. Now it's a lot less because this went down 10k. And this went up 10k, but I knew that it was going to go down at the time, and it was a short-term investment, not a long-term investment, because I did get Classic Fedora back, and I made some profit. So as you can see, this was like 6.8k. So I kept this and I put in this. At the time, I made 2.5k profit. Now it's like 4k profit. No matter what, it was kind of a W. I mean, it was just, again, free profit. I completed this trade the day later. I got another 40k OP on Classic Fedora. A big win for me. This is like, I think it was 40k, because I would not have taken 30k. Then I got this back, and again, free profit. So I got these trades I got here, except this is 5k plus 5k, it's 10k. And I got 16, which was at the time still 16. So I made like 8k profit. So again, free profit. Then at the time, this was 40k and change. This is a small, so about 41k. This is with one of my friends, Yadao. Classic Fedora I knew was about to go into discussion. It was not in discussion yet, but I had a feeling it was about to. So I got it back, and I made a ton of profit. I basically got a free 7k from this. And then, no joke, maybe 10 minutes after I made this trade, Classic Fedora went up for discussion. Then I traded Classic Fedora off for 10k, and now it's 14k. So now it's an even bigger W. But at the time it was just a 10k OP with Volk. So this was a W at the time, and somehow an even bigger W now. Then I did this. This at the time was about the same. Yeah, this one day ago. I made this one day ago. This is a 25k OP, or at the time I think it was 24k. Pretty much the same thing. 25k OP on Volk. With Beast Mode that's doing good, Play for Vampires doing good, and Radioactive Beast Mode that's doing good. Rolimon said it was but I knew in my heart it was really good. and it's coming to fruition, because once Playful Vampire raises and Beast Mode raises, this is a huge W. And then Vamtar upgraded RBM and Skull Bandit for these two and a little bit of Robux. Pink Galaxy Gaze was coming pretty close to raising, so he made this trade. If it raises in like a few days, then this is a W. If not, still a decent trade. Skull Bandit just went up 2k, so like literally 1 day ago, this would have been, nobody would have accepted this. So within the span of 1 day, I got just a free upgrade because this went up 2k. Alright guys, so those are all like the significant trades that I made somewhat recently. And yes, I did make quite a bit of profit. I cannot show you all the trades because the values are just so different. I made a lot of trades, I made a lot of profit. I did get scammed, or middleman scammed, out of Prank and Dualumina. I'm very close to being able to get that back. I don't think I will want to get that back personally, but really I could get it back and be exactly where I started like 3 months ago during September. So, not so bad. We have been making profit. This is only episode 1. You're going to see a lot more of this. And let's get to the dream inventory. Bye, noobs.